and talking about, straight people really don't want to have to sit there and be forced to watch, gay couples on TV. And right away, of course, some near do well had to reply with, well, what about all the gay people that got to sit through all this, forced to sit through all the straight stuff? First of all, you live in a predominantly heterosexual culture, so number one, get over it. Number two, the fact that you responded that way. Number one, not only was there a matching of my energy, which is understandable, but number two, if you feel forced to sit through our stuff, then why is it a big deal that we have to sit through your shit? I mean, honestly, think about that, geniuses. And again, it's like I remember going to college with this girl named Desiree, and she was a lesbian. And she was talking about some author that was real violent, and you could tell she had some kind of mental illness, Desiree, but she was, or excuse me, Destiny. And I mean, she was real nice, but talking about how intense the writer is, like cutting themselves to glass, and you know, it's a queer author, a queer reader, and it's her own little book that I'd never heard of, that's obscure. Now, you want to force all this other stuff on us. And again, I'm trying to think, like, how do I want to say this? Because there's good intentions with bad results, and you've all literally kind of become psychotic because you're so worried about your message. You've made the world toxic and uncomfortable. And again, this is mainly just online because really, unless you go out and say a lot of this stuff in person, people kind of just leave you to your own devices. But at the end of the day, why do why does Hollywood put in sex scenes? Why do they put in kissing? And because showing us how much a couple loves each other. Like, I mean, even think of The Conjuring. There's literally not a sex scene at all. But Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga make that shit perfectly clear that they have sex with each other. And it's cute. And again, it's cute, it's chaste. We get the message across. But when you physically put kissing and you put sex and you put nine times out of the 10, not, or excuse me, 9 times out of 10, that's not for the characters. That's for the people watching. It's for titillation and, which again, just like the Chucky TV series, I made it through like the first 5 episodes. And again, those first 5 episodes were the best. But then as soon as I saw the end of that fifth one and tried to start the sixth one, but I saw it was just recapping it, I quit because I knew that's where it was going to get stupid and where the reputation of this faux queer tolerance crap that Chucky's become, and even besides that, has just become a joke. Like Chucky's just goofy. Like I miss the old days where Chucky was Chucky. Chucky was scary. And first three will always be my favorites. Really, the only ones worth it. And nobody wanted a fourth Child Play more than me, but Don Mancini has ruined this franchise. Now, again, even I will admit, the will they, won't they, and, how much Jake and Devin are scared because they don't fit in, being afraid of being found out, yada, yada, yada. Message received, okay. But to see that shit and always be talking about it and going explicit, again, number one, we're there for Chucky. We're there for the series. We're there for the horror. So not only is this giving us extra shit we don't need, but are we really supposed to be just sitting there like, ooh, this is fun? Now, again, you're like, well, they've had Lexi and her boyfriend, but it's like, these are teenagers. So so that's weird. That's not cool. In the last one, apparently, you got Chucky making out with Devin, and that's just idiotic and retarded. Because again, look at Dog Day Afternoon. You knew it's a character. He had a wife, he had kids, but he literally was trying to pay for his boyfriend's sex change operation, so there was a queer element to that. But that was about the character. We didn't get all the nasty details. And again, you're saying, well, people can't make love. People can't, express their love. And it's like, of course. Because what I'm more concerned with, more than like, oh, I don't want to see that, is I don't know. It makes me think of this lady TikToker, and I can't remember, but she was part of the gay community. I can't remember if she was a lesbian or bi, but she was a part of it, so I guess it really doesn't matter, her particular preferences. But she said, I kind of want to go back into the closet. Or, well, no, not quite. I want to go back in the closet. But she was like, I want to go back to being in obscurity. And that makes me think of Destiny, who had her own book. And again, talked about how graphic it was. And in the book, and, more for that niche market, you could be as explicit as you want. Trying to wear too many hats. And again, tolerance, acceptance, fine, message received. But to honestly be fair to, hetero crowds, as well as, I quit calling them queer because I don't mean it in the derogatory sense. I guess just LGBT community. You guys and girls, have your stuff that you want for titillation purposes. Obviously, hetero people, we have our preferences. And the ironic thing, the thing I think that gets lost is, you know, there's a message of not only tolerance, but like, we're not too dissimilar. We got more similar than we have this, which, no, this one area, folks, yes, we all bleed red, we all want loved, but I'm sorry, we get titillated by different things. So, right there, all I'm saying, the main thing, if you forget everything else, you're getting yourself into a messy pot of gumbo there, because I've noticed, like, especially with Chucky and like Halloween Kills, when they had gay characters. Um, Now, Chucky is one that just like embraces more the gay side, but Halloween Kills, with that couple, Little John and Big John, they were gay, but you didn't see them, you know, titillating other, gay audience members. They just happened to be, because, and see, that's what's so messy about this video, because in one end, okay, I'm not mature enough for that. Sorry, guys and girls. Um, One end of the spectrum, if I say, I don't want to say, well, no one can have any titillation in the movies. I'm just saying, you're not going to please everybody. I just, I'm a weird blend, because I don't want people to have to feel like they have to stifle their own, feelings, like, well, you can't have this in your movie, because, in a way, there's kind of a suppression going on, because you either say, okay, straight people, you're hurting gay people's feelings. They don't want to see you for titillation. They understand you're a couple and want to see love. Um, and to me, that's just getting more in your head, whereas this is a feeling. You come to these movies for entertainment and to relax. So it's like, I don't know, you're creating this weird swirling vortex that's kind of, I don't want to say ruining it for everybody, but it's like, oh, wait, this is not to the extreme of this is hurting both ends, of this is hurting, straight and gay people, but number one, I unfortunately think it's bringing animosity, um, with uh, gay and straight people, because, I mean, of course it's divisive, but just because we have different preferences, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But it's creating unnecessary resentment. And I know this has been messy and all over the place. Um, I just be aware of why these reactions happen on both sides. Um, I don't know. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day.